where last time the game, it was a really good game. I feel like we were trailing for most of it, and then we came back in the fourth. Which, speaking of, the Bucks are, if I'm not mistaken, number one in fourth quarter comebacks this season. And just overall, I think they have the best fourth quarter like record in the league this season, which I find absolutely, I mean, hilarious, but like also like just it's great because knowing that your guys are clutch and knowing that you're able to close down the stretch, similar to how we saw Damian Lillard on Sunday night. I mean, it's just great knowing that. But I hope everybody is doing well. Is it Wednesday? Oh my gosh, it's Wednesday already.
It's
So you know what
Wednesday.
that means? Is it Wednesday? Well, hold on. So Ben, if it's Wednesday and we have a game, that means that it's actually going to end up being Wednesday. Huh? Yeah? No? That didn't sound like a very enthusiastic thing, Ben, but it's cool. I'll take
I
it.
mean, it
How
was
are you
kind of
doing,
corny,
Victor?
but hey, I'm gonna roll with it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And you know what? I'm corny, Ben. It is what it is. But that's who I am. Take me for who I am, Benjamin.
I accept for you. I accept Melanie Ricks to be who she is. I mean, doing these shows with you, being on the 101.7 The Truth with you for the past 3 years, we'll get entered our fourth year. I think I got a pretty good idea of who you are.
I don't know, Ben. I think I'm full of surprises. I'm just saying. I don't know. I just don't know.
I
But how are
don't
you doing
know.
today?
Amazing. I'm really good today. I'm really good today, Mel. Woke up cold outside as always. It seems like this is our new norm up here in Milwaukee. Our new
Nope.
norm up here in
No, no new
Wisconsin.
normal. No new normal. Nope. Nope. Get it out of here, Ben. Come on, Ben.
I feel like I got frostbite already, and I'm in studio, so
At
is
my
what it is.
apartment, in my apartment building, we have a dog park, and the door to go outside to the dog park, it's like
Yeah.
frosted over, Ben. Like the winter elements from outside have made their way indoors. I took a picture of it and everything, and I was like, "Wow, it is chilly out there."
Do
I
you
ate
let
some chili last week too.
Do you let your dog still go outside when it's cold like this?
I mean, I have no choice. Otherwise, my apartment becomes very gross, man. But no, I know what you mean. You mean like go out and play. So they love the snow. So unfortunately, as much as I hate the snow, so as much as I hate the snow, they love the snow that much. You feel me? So like we're on complete opposite ends. It's very annoying. I can't stand taking them outside in the cold,
Yeah.
but I do it because I love my babies and they love the snow. So yeah, I let them go out and play. Ben, this is how crazy I am.
Good
After
dog
the
mom.
game on, I'm a dog mom, but
Hmm.
after the game on Sunday, it was a 6 o'clock tip, so it wouldn't like we weren't home super late,
Yeah.
or I should say I wasn't home super late. I got in at like 10 o'clock or so. Dog, it was freezing because when the sun goes away, it's just doubly cold,
Uh
and it was freezing out and I was out there in my parka and my glove, like shivering, and
huh.
you know what I'm saying? It was giving Gucci, and Paul and Mabel, they just wanted to frolic in the snow. So I stood out there and I waited until they started lifting because after a while they do start lifting their little paws up because they're like, yeah, I can't take this anymore. Because
Hmm.
even for dogs, it's too cold. The fur keeps them warm, but
Right.
their paws are raw. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like
It's touching
they
that
feel
ice. Yeah.
yeah, it's like it'd be like if we were touching the ice barefoot, like that would be freezing,
And,
dog.
and and I'm black, so yeah. As soon as I touch it, my God, I'm freezing already. And then I mean,
Ben
it's not
has to
like
bring race into everything.
I'm just saying.
Ben,
Look, Mel, you cannot lie. Black people experience frigid
I'm not.
temperatures
Listen,
much
you're
different than
right.
white people
But
do.
why? But why you gotta bring race into everything? I
I'm
could
not.
be talking about zebras. They could be like, yeah, I relate to the black stripes, not the white stripes. Like, dog.
Look, I'm just look. I'm look. One of our responsibilities on these airwaves is to talk about the black experience, okay? And from a black
Facts.
experience, I know for a fact black people experience the winter much differently versus our counterparts,
Yes.
and that just happens to be true. I,
Yes.
I I have yet to see a black person walk outside when it's below zero with some shorts on. Talk about it's a good day. I
Kyle
He doesn't
and
count. He
Tori.
he
Kyle
nah.
definitely doesn't count. You
Yeah,
are
Kyle does not
absolutely
count.
right.
The man looked like Arthur. I'm good. Okay, like he's over there. He's actually on
I'm
KBN. He's on KBN, ESPN
God.
radio. If you want to experience that side of Kyle, you can. Okay, but over here, nah, man. Toylo's still down with us. That brother didn't even go all the way. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's stuff that black people don't do that our counterparts will do. Toylo, if y'all have not seen yet, all right, go watch the polar plunge that KBN did. For the Green Bay, I think it was the Green Bay Packers. I forget which playoff game it was, but anyway,
This the thing for the last playoff game, the first one, wild card.
Yep. Yeah, Ben Bruss and a few of other colleagues ran into Lake Michigan. All right, ran into Lake Michigan. I think right before it hit below zero, ran into Lake Michigan. Now I will tell you, two out of the four people that actually went head first into the water. All right, and I'll leave that up to y'all imagination on to who actually went in there. But all I know is the Tory Lowe, who's on from 1-4. All right, he just went in there knee deep. All right, that's it. Got his black ass right up out of there. He couldn't do it no more. All right, so all I'm gonna say again, Mel, is we experience these frigid temperatures much differently than our counterparts do, and that's just a fact. That's the truth, and that's nothing but the truth.
No, it's nothing but the truth,
Mm-hmm.
period. And I agree with you, Ben. So the polar plunge, I want to talk about that for a second because I was born in Milwaukee,
Yeah.
but we moved to Brown Deer when I was 10. So like most of my childhood, it was like more of like a suburban Milwaukee childhood, but like the fam still lived in the city. So like I always felt like I was going back and forth between two worlds. And I say that because
Tell two
in Brown
cities.
Deer, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Mm.
nice reference.
Hey, cold
I
world.
in Brown Deer, my best friend, like I had, nah, my best friends were like low key multicultural. Like that sounds so silly, but it was like so typical suburban band where it was like there were two black chicks, there was one Asian chick, two Hispanic chicks, two white chicks. Like I'm
Oh, that's
serious. Like we
lit.
covered all bases. It was
Yeah.
lit.
Yeah.
But my point in saying that in the suburbs, that's where I really started to understand white culture and
Interesting.
the polar plunge, if you will. They do that on New Year's Day in Wisconsin. Like
Mm.
that's a thing. So one of my best friends growing up, still really good friends with her to this day, Lindsay. That's her family tradition. Every year on New Year's Day, and every year when I was a kid, she would invite me, and every year I would say no. Lindsay, you couldn't pay Ben. You couldn't. Like honest to God, I don't think you could give me $1 million to go in Lake Michigan in January. Like honestly, I really don't
Yeah.
think you could because like I may die before I see that money because that water would probably freeze me to death. Like honestly,
I mean, but you gotta experience life though, Mel. You know, you can't
I'm
just.
not experiencing that, Ben. I'm not doing that, Ben. Like you said, we weren't built for this weather, Ben.
Hey,
And I
facts,
literally
facts.
wasn't. Like physically, mentally, emotionally, I was not built for this.
Yeah, we were from the sub-Saharan. Okay,
Oh my
sub-Saharan Africa.
gosh.
All
The
right, I
sub-Saharan.
don't really resonate with. And honestly, you know what, Mel? One thing that I find common amongst like all blacks, all blacks, is the fact is when winter comes around, we all lighten up. Like we get darker around the summertime, and then when wintertime comes around, we lighten up. And I'm like, man, what? Why? You know, like, why does this happen? I mean,
Because the
obviously because
sun.
it's
The
not much
sun.
sun, but again, like, you know, I hate to go down a rabbit hole, but I think in the future, Northern Africans, Northern American Africans, we all just gonna turn light skinned. Like we're all gonna be like light as Denise Thomas or something. Like that's what's going to happen to all of us just because like we're evolving. So I don't know. That's just the
Well,
idea I have.
Well, Ben, my idea, my philosophy has always been, and at some point, we're all going to be mixed. Like, well,
Yup.
technically, we all
Well,
are probably mixed, but like, you know what I mean? I think everyone's going to look mixed at
I
some point in
agree.
life.
Everybody's gonna be yellow one day, like just like the Simpsons. Everybody talks about how the
But I almost feel like
Simpsons.
that's,
I'm telling you, everybody talks about how the Simpsons do all these predictions. The biggest prediction that is on the Simpsons is the fact that the whole town is yellow. I think everybody be yellow people in the future.
that's
That's
funny.
that's
But
what I
like,
think.
our society is so just silly. Like, when you refer to like yellow
Yeah.
as a skin tone,
Hmm.
people are talking about Asians normally. You know that, right? Like
I
Asian
guess.
culture and because yeah,
I get
like
what
they
you're
say,
saying.
like you know what I mean? Like they say
Right.
white, like European is white, African is black, and
Hmm.
then Asian is yellow. Like or like that's like but I don't know if that's an American idea or what. But I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. I think we will have a world like The Simpsons one day, a few generations down the line.
Yeah. I think we saw because even like when you're talking about again, the term somebody being yellow, referring to it being Asians. I think that's more of a term or an idea that was bought into like the general public to reference Asians. But however, when you do talk about our culture, whether you're uh, in the black community or whatever, most people would refer to like my mom's skin color. You see my mom, she's would be considered a yellow bone or a red bone.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's one of those things where you can actually kind of see the intersectionalities of this crossbreeding affair we're all having here in America happening in real time right before our eyes. So
Well, isn't it kind of freaky when you think about it? Because obviously we know so much now about how,
embryos
slave
develop. Oh,
masters.
okay.
Well, sure, that too, but like also how slave masters would like procreate with their slaves, and like
Right.
to be really honest, Ben, it like gets a little dark in my mind,
Hmm.
and I get sad because like when you see somebody, and I'm only gonna say Denise because you brought her up, but I've never
Yeah.
felt this way about her specifically, but
That's okay.
somebody
Somebody else said
who
it.
who is of uh somebody who is like Denise's skin tone,
Yeah.
has like more of like finer hair, maybe lighter eyes, but they're
Mm.
black and their family is black, and they identify as black, but then you see them and it's so clear that there's something Eurocentric in there, even if
Yeah.
it's not from their parents or their grandparents. And then because I'm a history buff, you're a history buff. I start thinking about like, I wonder where down the line that came from. Because you know how
Right.
genetics are, Ben. Like
That's true.
something that happened 100 years ago may not show up until later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
that's
it just
serious.
it blows my mind when I think about that. When I see people who are lighter skinned but are clearly black, but I'm
Right.
like, how did
'Cause-
you get
'cause-
to be that way?
yeah,
Like what
because when you
happened at one point?
yeah, because when you got Negro features, it's just hard to actually be like, I know an N word when I see an N word. Okay, but
But you
all
know what's funny? Sorry.
oh well, I was gonna say because like we were talking about with genetics and things like that. Because I have a little cousin. Um, uh, Shout out to my little cousin, little baby Aubrey. Okay, my cousin had a baby, and my baby cousin is like essentially we would say she's a little white girl, right? Like, oh, my cousin's a little white girl, right? However, she does have Negro features. Okay, very curly hair. However, her skin is just I think little baby Aubrey is probably about like 3-4 years old, but she's fairly light skinned. However, it made us actually be like, oh, how did she actually become so light skinned? I mean, her father is white. My cousin is black. However, we all knew that we already had like some white DNA inside of our family lineage or whatever. And it's just funny the fact that her daughter, when she was in her embryonic stage or whatever, decided to pick her whiteness. Decided to pick her whiteness over her darkness as an embryo, because that's actually what's happening inside of a woman's womb. Like the child's actually trying to figure out what's going to be the best for them to come out and actually survive. It's already thinking about survival. However, it's just one of those interesting things where people are always trying to draw the line here, like, oh, this is all black, or this is all white, or this is Asian, this is Hispanic. But ultimately, I just like to let everybody know that we're all just human beings. Like, we're all literally human, and if you continue to keep on drawing lines and separation, that only is going to cause further division. We need to figure out how we can actually unify as a people versus keep on separating. In my honest opinion.
And that goes back to my point, which is I think everyone's going to be mixed one day. And I think that's when we actually start to feel like equals. And, I'm sure, Ben, I am not the
Hmm.
first person to have that thought. I'm sure there have been many a white men who have had that speculation and
You think
probably
so?
fear it because, oh, I do, because I think
Hmm.
that the what we experience today started with a white man. You know what I mean? It started with Christopher Columbus, which I
Mm.
don't know if technically he was like white. I want to say he was
Nah.
Spanish. I can't
Yep.
remember.
You're
But
right.
like,
He
but
he was
I was,
Portuguese.
yeah, Portuguese. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you. So, but I know that, his point was to get out the natives and turn this land into something more Eurocentric, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? More of a European idea. So my point in that, I just feel like there are people who know that eventually our world probably will be a little bit more mixed, and
Right.
they don't want that to happen because they like the hierarchy. You know what I mean? They like having different tiers of people, different classes of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Classes
there's
of
such an
society.
emphasis on middle class, low class, high. Oh yeah,
That's
upper
true.
class. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely think it'll happen one day. We'll see.
Nah, I mean,
But
it's already happening. I think they said by the year 2060 that 25% of Americans will be of Hispanic heritage. So, may not be all the way black, but they're all the way white either. So that does show you that the power structure is changing here in America. And I think that the newer generation, the Gen Z, I think they'll just continue to usher in, more race or the actual true American. Because I think what we're seeing right now is like, okay, everybody says black, white, Asian, Hispanic, or whatever, but nobody ever really just goes and says, hey, I'm an American. Because ultimately, if you look towards the future, all these people trying to say like, oh, I'm Italian here, I'm Portuguese there, I'm 3/5 of African American, and then I'm this and I'm that. Bro, 200 years, you just gonna say you're an American, and that's what the American race is gonna be. It's just a hogwash of people, hogwash of sperm and egg cells. So.
gross. All right. On that note, we're gonna take a
Da, da, da,
break.
da.
It's Hot Takes Wednesday, so if you have any hot takes, let us know. We're gonna come back and give you our hot takes. But if you have any that you've been feeling lately, hit us up 833-212-1017.
Don't touch that dial. Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King described a true education as one successfully combining intelligence and character. Concordia University prepares learners for meaningful lives of leadership and service to meet all of life's callings. They offer world-class programs online and face-to-face in a faith-based, student-focused environment. Classes are small, opportunities endless. Visit cuw.edu to learn more. 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris is at the MLK Prayer Breakfast event at Concordia. This is an invitation-only event. We invite you to listen to the event live on The Truth Saturday, January 20th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. This brunch at Concordia University, hosted by Walter Goodwin, the director of the Office of Multicultural Engagement, and is a gathering honoring Dr. Martin Luther King, a time of reflection and prayer, Saturday, January 20th. The theme this year, it is written based on the scripture in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future.
One Call, That's All with Gruber Law Offices. And I know you're enjoying another great episode of Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks, who is live from Cleveland for the Bucks game tonight. And thinking about the Bucks, when you go to a Bucks game, you know what you see? You see Gruber Law Offices threes for tees. And they're not just throwing out threes for tees for the fun of it. They are donating money as well. That's the great thing about Gruber Law Offices. They are truly a staple in our community, giving back to our community. But on top of that, if you or a loved one is ever injured in a car accident, you know you can call the law firm who will stand up for you. The thing I love about Gruber Law Offices is the fact that when you retain them as a law firm, they do not charge you a fee at all until they win your case. Yes, no fee until they win your case, and they win a lot of cases. So if your loved one has ever been injured in an accident or do get injured in an accident, remember to call Gruber Law Offices at 414-276-6666 or visit them at gruber-law.com. It's One Call, That's All with Gruber Law Offices.
Okay, Fred, so I got some questions.
What's up?
Where should I go if I want to start my own business?
You go to erieinsurance.com.
Okay, Fred, so where should I go if my kid needs an internship? Or if I need a job, where do I go?
You go to erieinsurance.com.
Okay, so what if I want to work for a company that believes in diversity, has great benefits, and growth for people like us?
You already know, it's erieinsurance.com.
Man, so Fred, I just need to go to Erie Insurance?
Go to erieinsurance.com for all that you need.
It's amazing!
You are listening to Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah, I said I think we should do hot takes first because we already started the music. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. It's Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks, and you hear the music. It's time for some hot takes. I'm gonna go ahead and do mine real quick. Hot take. I think that reality TV needs to be reworked so that it actually is real reality. And I say that then because it's so programmed. There's a blueprint, and I know that every reality TV show isn't the same, but there's a certain blueprint that they follow, whether it's a dating show or a business show or, just following the housewives around. Like, I just feel like reality TV is almost becoming scripted television. So I think we need to get to a place where if we're going to do reality. Like, do it with real people, through real problems, and make it so that it doesn't feel like, I don't know, like there's a certain formula that y'all follow. And I only say that because I think reality TV is really popular right now. And I think that it's made it so that a lot of celebrities that maybe we once used to consider untouchable and just totally, like, almost godlike, I feel like reality TV makes us realize just how human people are, for one, and then social media is another outlet in which we get to see these celebrities just in their natural habitat. And so, yeah, it's cute when we see them on like reality shows and all that, but I just think about the reality shows where they're supposed to just be following people's lives, and it just seems like, so did you have that conversation off camera and then you brought it on the camera because you just needed to create something? Like, what happened to us, like, actually getting like real substance? So yeah, if you're not a reality TV fan, then you don't care about this, but guess what? I am. So I need them to get back to being real. And that's my hot take.
I like that hot take, Mel. I really do. Thanks. Because reality TV is just too scripted for me these days. And has been for a long time. I feel like one of the biggest reality TV shows that has impacted black culture, and I'm speaking about Love and Hip Hop, has been a detriment to the black culture. When you talk about black love, how we decide to relate to one another. I hate Love and Hip Hop for that reason. I feel like it showed a lot of women the wrong approaches to life, all right, in every way, shape, fashion, and form, whether it's them talking to their friends and how they're supposed to talk to them, whether they're supposed to talk to their man. A lot of those programs, again, the Love and Hip Hop, I think they're on like season 10 or 11 or something. I think it's just to our detriment. And I would love it if they more so were to bring real conversations to those reality TV shows. All right, something that can actually help us, benefit us, and we can actually take from, not use as another poison to our minds. But hey, that's just my take on that. But no, I definitely appreciate that.
That's a good point. I appreciate you bringing up Love and Hip Hop because I don't watch Love and Hip Hop for that reason. So I'm glad you brought that up.
For real, I swear that's the biggest reason I don't even watch it, because it's just like, man, we it seems like we can't go nowhere, to no platform, we can't go to Fox 6 News. We can't go to no platform where they're not trying to, skew our minds into who we aren't. They're always trying to tell
control.
us. Yeah, you got to control the mind first. And what better way to control the mind than through television and through media? Media tells lies and people believe them. So it's scary, man, but you definitely need to keep your eyes and ears open. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. You know what I'm saying? But hey, thank you, Mel. I'll do a quick one real quick, and I'm glad that you brought that up because mine is actually a shut at media as well. All right? So, black people, my hot take truly is we need to get our value. Like, we need to get what we're worth. I'm not just talking about no reparations because I still stand 10 toes down on them. Okay? But we need to truly get what we're worth. I've seen a lot of different times in industries we seem to be the labor force, okay, for these big platforms, whether it is the inception of this country where we were slaves for centuries and profited this country and made them rich, all right, made America great, okay. We did all that for free, okay. Now here in 2023, 2024, yes, you know what, it is 2024. I can't look at the past anymore. It is 2024. I know one thing that you all have seen that has just blown up over the past few years is a movie platform, a streaming platform called Tubi. All right, and if you guys don't know, all right, this is actually a good description of what Tubi actually does and provides for the platform. Or I shouldn't say just provides for the platform, but provides for black content creators on the platform. Let's see. What it goes on to say is Tubi allows black content creators a platform to basically get their art heard. You know, make certain that their voices are heard. Make certain that they're getting their movie scripts out, if you will. And with that being said, we have seen a lot of different movies on Tubi, whether it's quote unquote, some people would say they're low budget films, other people would say, you know what, this could have actually been in movie theaters, but that's not my point. It's neither here nor there. My point is, when it comes to platforms like a Tubi, a lot of times they use our content to build up their platforms and do nothing to serve the black community in the end. A lot of people would actually question, like, man, who owns Tubi? Like, where's all the money going that Tubi is making off all these black films? Mind you, a lot of these films 20 years ago would have been what somebody in the streets would have called a bootleg. You know, a lot of these Tubi movies would have been bootleg movies you would have bought from your local bootleg man off a DVD off a DVD for about $5. All right, who would have profited not only the bootleg man but the person who initially shot and directed the film. All right, that money would have circulated a little bit more. But now, since we're in 2024, Tubi takes content creators' films, puts it on their platforms, and allows you to stream it for free. All right, they get paid off the ad revenue, you know, advertisements that are placed in between the movies that you're actually watching. But that money actually goes to the company who owns it. And the company who owns Tubi is actually Fox. Fox, okay? And with that being said, if all of you listeners know who Fox is and what Fox represents, it more than likely all the time represents a right-wing agenda or a right-wing Republican identity. All right, a lot of the times when we are investing in these platforms and watching these movies on these platforms, we never ask who's actually getting paid on the back end from these movies. All right, and we're never actually asking what they're doing with the monies from this, from us actually watching what's going on. A lot of the times, Fox takes those monies and uses that money in political campaigns against us. All right. So what I'm saying is, ultimately, a lot of times we actually build up these platforms for them to ultimately do nothing for us in the end. Sure, it's fine to go in and watch a movie on Tubi, but if that money isn't reciprocated in your community in the end, or is it helping you out in the grand scheme of things, why are we still supporting these platforms? Maybe we just need to open up our eyes a little bit. But that's my take on it. Black folks, we need to get our value. We need to understand our worth. And before we decide to start investing in the company and spending time on a platform, we need to know who owns the platform, because we need to know what this person's intentions truly are in the end of it. And that's my hot take, Mel.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was having a really, really great discussion today with someone about a similar thing, which is not knowing what the connection is to certain things, you know, like random example, but like, let's say that you have an agent and you're signing a contract for something, and this agent is the one negotiating things for you. So they go to whomever you were trying to sign this contract with. Let's say they offer you $1 million contract, but they tell your agent that. And then your agent tells you, okay, they're offering you an $800,000 contract, because guess what? I'm taking that $200 as a convenience fee, because I'm the one that got you the deal. You know what I'm saying? But my point is correct. But that's something that agents can do. And I'm not saying it's legal or not. Like, I don't know about all that, but like, they do that, and you don't know that it's $1 million contract, but it's an $800,000 contract in your mind. Right. And so I think my point in bringing that example up it's important to do your research and not just say yes to whatever and not just sign your name to whatever, and just support whatever, because you never know who it is funding it, and you never know how it's going to hurt you or affect you in the future. I know sometimes it's so easy to just sign away, but you know, we talked last week about people losing their integrity in Hollywood and all that. That's part of it, Ben. Like selling your soul, that's part of it. Everybody's definition of selling your soul is something different, but I'm sorry, when you sign your name away to these big old contracts just for the big upfront, you know, cash reward that you're going to get, and then 10 years later you're trying to buy back everything that you know you once sold away. You know,
looking
what I'm saying?
crazy.
So yeah, looking crazy. So yeah, I think that's a great hot take, and I think it's a good message to everybody. Read between the lines, you know what I'm saying, and triple check. Get a lawyer, like hire somebody to make sure you understand every bit of it, because you don't want to be cheated out of your money or cheated out of an experience, whatever it may be, and then you don't want to end up regretting.
Yeah, you don't want to be Taraji out here. You know, you do not want to be Taraji P. Henson. I know she's out here trying to fight for all the good sisters out here who have been invested in Hollywood, creating great movies for us. You know, for her to only make the dollars that she makes from her movies is kind of crazy to me, because, you know, I ran across a fact earlier today that just I was flabbergasted by, to be honest with you. All right, so for all of you guys who might know about the Mean Girls, Mel, you know about the Mean Girls movie? That they're
the musical.
Yeah, there's a musical dropping, but also you know, the one back in the day, right?
Oh, the original Mean Girls.
Yeah, with Lindsay Lohan. So Lindsay Lohan.
That's in my top 5 movies of all time, Ben.
I bet it is. I bet it is. I bet it is, man. I can see it written all over your face. All right.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, but no, my point is, Lindsay Lohan only did a cameo in that movie, The Mean Girls, and she received $500,000. $500,000.
Oh, in the new movie?
In the new one, she receives 500.
But that don't even sound like enough to me.
You don't think so? For a cameo?
No. Dog. Mean Girls was what it was because of Lindsay Lohan. I'm sorry.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that.
That was iconic. I would have been like $1 million or I'm not showing up. I'm just saying.
Okay, so in comparison to Taraji's situation, Taraji, it seems like she's never even received $500,000 from any movie studio, period. I don't care if she done gave him 2 minutes or 2 hours.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Okay. So it's one of these things.
But who negotiates for Taraji? Like, what's her agent?
Her agents. That's why I wanted to bring it up, though, because you know, you never know, somebody might be robbing Peter to pay Paul, in a lack of better words, and ultimately just robbing you.
That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, and that's what it seems like in Taraji's case, that she's been getting robbed for the majority of her career. Probably got set up with somebody else's agent. And I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole, because it could definitely be a mess. But nah, Americans and Black Americans, just make certain that you are getting your value, getting your worth, and not just like Mel said, not just signing a contract just because they throw a few dollars in your face. Know everything full and full. Know it all the way through before you actually decide to commit to something, because you know something might come up in the midst of you thinking you're doing something good. So hey, that's Hot Take Wednesday.
Love that for us. Let us know if y'all have any hot takes. We're gonna get into some other things on the other side. I got a question about relationships, because I know how much y'all just love talking about relationships on this show.
You know what though, Mel? I know somebody who does want to talk to us right now.
We're gonna talk to them now. Okay,
we're gonna talk to them now. We're gonna talk to them now.
Let's
and anybody who wants to call in, text in, has a hot take of their own, or just wants to comment on our hot take, call in, text in 833-212-1017. But right now we're about to head to the lines. Miss Rose, how you doing? What's your question or comment? Talk to me.
Oh, yes. I wanted to share another thing. You know the Black Ski Club I talked about yet?
Up in Racine.
Yeah. Sheila Payton, who does the Black Pages, was also a member, and she could probably give you a brief lowdown on the whole work. So I just thought I'd let you know about that. Or Barbara Bracey. These are people that were members of the ski club from way back. But you know what I really called about was that anthropology is a course I believe should be not just recommended, but required for everyone to learn about the beginning of mankind, womankind, however you want to call it. Because there's no such thing as 100% white brown, yellow, or red. It's all the Moors have been a part of all of the people that exist on our land today. And that's why when we go back 100 years, you got to go thousands of years. Our land, this land called America was on the route to the trade winds of the Moors. And all these places, remember this was one big solid land thousands of years ago. Mm-hmm. And therefore there was easier transportation. Pieces broke off here and there, islands formed, but there's no such thing as people. There's no such thing as just like the term Native Americans. There's no such thing. They're tribal, which is back to the Moors, which was not African at that time because there was no Africa back in those days. But there is a term that was called the land where the people of mankind or humankind began. It starts with an A. All I remember. But okay. It is a term that goes all the way back to the creation that the land was called, began with an A. It was about 11 letters long and everything. So if people would take anthropology and just do an ancient history of people from all over the world, they all have an interaction. That's why there's no such thing as 100% of any whiteness, brownness, yellow, red, because it all started with blackness.
You know what, Miss Rose? I definitely appreciate that. And thank you for calling in. Definitely appreciate your call. But that's something that I honestly, truly feel would actually heal our current country. If we just went back into the history books and taught the real history, I think people would be able to see things from a different lens, you know? So that's my take on that.
No, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Let us know if y'all have any hot takes.
Never mind.
What?
No, I was going to say, you know, when we talk about, you know, how she was just talking about anthropology and how everybody basically just came from Africa, whether you're big, you're small, you're the shortest person, you're the fastest person, you're the slowest person, smartest person, it all originated out of Africa. And I just truly believe that if history just taught that we all originated from Africa, a lot of people wouldn't even think about racism as they do today. So, yeah.
Facts. All right, y'all, we're going to get into some more discussions on the other side. Let us know if you have any comments, questions, 833-212-1017.
Nothin But The Truth with Melanie Ricks returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you an older adult or an adult with disability who makes too much for Medicaid benefits? Well, good news. You may qualify for $7,200 to help pay for short-term or continuous in-home services through the new Milwaukee County Independent Living Supports pilot program. If you qualify, it can help pay for things like specialized medical equipment, home modifications, personal care, and other services that improve your quality of life. Do yourself a favor and don't leave this opportunity on the table. You deserve to live life to the fullest. Find out if you qualify right away by visiting county.milwaukee.gov/ILSP. Again, that's county.milwaukee.gov/ILSP. Or call 414-289-6874. Again, that's 414-289-6874. Milwaukee County Independent Living Supports Pilot Program. Live your life to the fullest.
Who are we? We are the ones who learn to do what we love. We're the ones who want to work, who want to learn from firsthand experience, to earn an income, who don't need to spend 4 years in lecture halls. We're the healthcare, construction and utility workers, manufacturers, agriculturists, and service and IT professionals. We are Wisconsin Apprentices. Learn more at wisconsinapprenticeship.org. Brought to you by the Department of Workforce Development.
Gamers seeking top-notch tech services? PWD Computers is your ultimate destination. Custom-built gaming PCs for a high-end gaming experience. From Windows to Apple, with years of experience, PWD Computers are here for you. 3800 West Bleed Street. Open weekdays 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris, and the time is now, Milwaukee. You know, perspective is essential. What I found is the news behind the news is more important. I want you to leave my show with a sense of knowing what was missing that adds depth to the conversation. Tune in Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, or 1017thetruth.com.
You are listening to Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Don't know what they into. Hanging out the window, money on my mental, I can switch the tempo. Up there like crescendo, I can make 100 off an instrumental. I can make it rain every other day. Tell me what you into. She asking my name like she want the fame, but don't want the issues. Hanging out the window, money on my mental, I can switch the tempo. Up there like crescendo, I can make 100 off an instrumental. I can make it rain every other day. Tell me what you into. She asking my name like she want the fame, but don't want the issues. When I walk in, they froze. Acting like and they talk on the low. Respect is ain't giving you is chose. You ain't
What's
the
up,
type
what's
who
up,
gon'
y'all?
get
We are back.
I done been a
Welcome
little
back
bit
to
of
Nothing But The
back
Truth
again.
with Melanie Ricks. Life is better with American Family Insurance because their home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote from an agent at amfam.com. Shout out to my girl Elizabeth. Shout out to my girl Sydney. I am 32 years old. I got my first ever facial at the age of 32. I got it 2 days ago. Wait, I think I got it yesterday. Who knows? I don't even remember what day it is. But regardless, it was the most incredible facial. I needed it. I think that self-care is so important. I used to feel guilty when I was younger. Like if I wanted to get my nails done, get my hair done, go shopping, like I always felt like I had to give myself an excuse, a reason to do that. I'm understanding now, though, that self-care is so important, and the way it looks is so different depending on the person. So whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good, to make yourself look good, I think you should do it. I think it's so important because when you invest in your self-care, you're investing in, I think, a lot of other areas in your life. Because I think that when your personal life is good, it tends to filter out to the rest of your life. So self-care is key, self-care is king, and that's exactly what I'm able to do when I go to Elevate & Co. So make sure you go to their website, Elevate & Co, MKE.com. Get started with your free consultation. They got some really, really great self-care options for you there. And then lastly, I know that some of y'all are tired of paying rent to a landlord, so make sure you team up with Axe Housing, or at least go to axhousing.org to find out how you can team up with them. Get started on your virtual orientation. They've got some awesome coaches that are ready to help you, so get started today. So I got a question for y'all. It's a pretty simple one, but like at the same time, it requires some thought. So let's say that y'all are talking to somebody, and that person stops feeling you. Like that person just kind of is like, you know what, this isn't working for me. Do you want that person to just ghost you? Do you want them to be honest and tell you that? And if they do tell you that, is it okay if they do it via text? Do you prefer that a pigeon comes and drop off the carrier note? Is it an email? Do you need to see them face to face? Is it giving we go on one more date so you can buy me dinner one last time and then I tell you I don't like you? What is it? Like, what do you think is the best way to end things with somebody? 833-212-1017. I was talking to one of my guy friends, like, about a week ago, and he was telling me that a girl like kind of broke his heart. Like he didn't say that, but he was like, yeah, I was talking to this girl and things were going well, and suddenly she seemed to lose interest. Like I would like make suggestions about where we could go hang out and go do things, and she would say like, oh, I'm busy, or I can't, or this or that. Like there was a reason. Like he said at first it wasn't like that. At first they were in it together, they had so much fun, and then he said slowly but surely she seemed to lose interest, and so he broke it off because he said it was pretty clear that she wasn't going to do that and I felt the need to break up with her because she was kind of ghosting me. And I was like, I get that. Like, because you're the type where clearly you need that closure. Like, you're not okay with somebody just stop talking when they just stop talking to you. You need to know, like, okay, are we done? We're good. We're finished. I can move on. Bet. So I found that so interesting. And talking to him about that inspired this question because I'm like, I am definitely that type as well. I'm just like her. I hate to say it. Like, if I'm not feeling a guy anymore, oh, I, I'd go jump into a sewer before telling a guy I'm not feeling him. I hate that. Like, I don't like breaking people's hearts. I don't like hurting people's feelings. So, like, I am the type where I'll, like, try to act different so that you either end it or we just kind of stop talking and then it just kind of disappears. Because it's so uncomfortable. Like, how uncomfortable is it to break up with somebody? Even if you're just talking, even if you're not, like, fully, like, dating, like even if that's not your boyfriend, like how awkward is it to go to somebody and be like, yeah, so I don't like you or you're not good enough. Like that's so weird. So what do y'all think about that? Like, is honesty the best policy? Because I think it is, but in this case, I don't think so. Sometimes I don't really feel like telling somebody, sorry sir, you're not good enough for me, maybe the next girl will like you. Like, I don't like that. That's not cute. But how do y'all feel about it? 833-212-1017. Benjamin, I'm curious if you have any, because like I wonder if it's a guy thing where guys are the ones that specific. I don't know. I think maybe he was just feeling her more than she was feeling him. I don't know, but I was just kind of surprised that he was all like he was sad. You know what I mean? And this particular guy friend of mine, he's kind of simpish. And I love me a simp, so I say that endearingly. I do, I do, because
There's
I
no
love
way. Look, Mel, you need to take that out your lingo. Okay, take it out.
See,
Take it out now.
okay,
All right,
I
it's
don't call him to
2024.
his face. I don't call him that to his face, and it's not a bad thing. But I
See,
get it. Y'all think it's bad. I get it. Man.
It's
I'm
very
sorry.
problematic of you. All right, it's very problematic and utterly disrespectful.
I'm not trying to be.
It's utterly disrespectful, Mel. No, you know what? I find it funny that a lot of the times that these women out here, they're tough enough to take the glizzy down their throat, right? But they can't break somebody's heart. Okay, they're tough enough to do all the other things, right? That require a relationship, even require.
This is why I don't like talking to him.
I'm just saying that's a tough sport. That's tough. All right, everybody talk about working a hard job, being able to give a blowjob. That's a whole nother story. Okay, but all I'm gonna say is, look, if you're gonna be tough enough to do that, you should also be tough enough to break somebody's heart if they're not there for you anymore. All right, especially if it's like, you know what, I'm not feeling this person anymore. You're not tough enough to tell this person you can't. You're not tough enough to tell this person anymore that you're not feeling them anymore. You'd rather ghost them. You'd rather just tell them through text. No, tell them to their face like you told them you loved them when you was making love with them. All right, tell them that I don't love you anymore. Tell them that I don't like you anymore, and just move on with your life. Me personally, you actually asked like, hey, is this just a guy's thing? Is this a guy's thing? Like he's gonna get his heart broken or something like that? But you know what? Me personally, I can't speak for all men, but I can speak for me. Okay, I can speak for me, and personally, I would just like for you to tell me. All right, and I don't care how I receive the message. All right, whether it's a text message or a voicemail through video chat, just tell me so I can get on with my life. All right, and personally, if we're dating, all right, and we quote unquote say we're together, if I don't hear from you for a solid week, 2 weeks, look, I'm either assume that you dead in jail or you just moved on with your life without me. Okay, and don't get me wrong, Truth Nation, I'm not perfect. All right, I've definitely ghosted women before. All right, but I had to learn. You know what, Ben? You should have actually spun the block and told these women how you feel. All right, and some of those women came back around. We did the nasty, and then I told them how I felt. Okay, so that's just that.
You always got to add something that's just unnecessary. How do y'all feel? Do you think it's like it was so unnecessary? Are you okay with somebody just ghosting you? Do you need them to like formally break up with you? Do you need that closure? Or are you good? Because listen, I'm fine if we just both fade to the wind and we move on, okay? But what do y'all think about that? 833-212-1017.
Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
They think that black people don't wash their hands. So when they designed the automatic bathroom faucets and the automatic paper towel dispensers, they never thought to have that UV light be sensitive to or recognize black skin. They literally think, well, black people don't need paper towels. They don't wash their hands, so we don't need to have the sensors activate when a black person waves their hands. I'm not kidding you.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
When it comes to getting the smile of your dreams, you can't just trust anyone. So look no further than Bubon Orthodontics. Bubon Orthodontics is Wisconsin's #1 Invisalign provider and has been providing the best value for braces and Invisalign since 1993. With 15 convenient locations, you're sure to find one in your area. Schedule your free consultation today. Call or text 262-522-7447 or visit bubonortho.com. Bubon Orthodontics, a family treating families.
Join us at Pfizer Forum as we tip off Black History Month on Thursday, February 8th with an arts-focused game featuring a variety of Black performers and artists. There'll be fun and activities for all, along with incredible Bucks basketball. Don't miss it. Tip off Black History Month with the Milwaukee Bucks on Thursday, February 8th at Pfizer Forum. For more details and to purchase tickets, visit bucks.com/impact.
All your favorite interviews and best moments live in one place.
You know, I'm working in the morning, and I was listening back on the Truth app.
Download the new 1017 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth's Sherwin Hughes, and I am Milwaukee. This show has meant so much to me because it's an opportunity for me to express my thoughts and my feelings to my community, and for my community to express those same thoughts and feelings right back to me. Milwaukee means a lot to me. I was born here, raised here, educated here, and I'm committed to making this a better city. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
This is 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris, and the time is now, Milwaukee. You know, perspective is essential. What I found is the news behind the news is more important. I want you to leave my show with a sense of knowing what was missing that adds depth to the conversation. Tune in Monday through Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, or 1017thetruth.com.
Bringing all the smoke to you.
I love what you're doing, and this radio station is just like what it's called. It's the truth.
Download the new 1017 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 The Truth. You are listening to Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What's really good, y'all? We are back. Welcome back to Nothing But The Truth with Melanie Ricks. We had some cute little banter going on, and then we got into some hot takes. Benjamin made a few inappropriate comments, and then we got into our topic.
Hey, we grown as hell, man. Come on now.
You know what I mean? But we may be grown, but Ben, there's a time and a place. I'm just saying. Hey, and Ben, I love you for who you are. Keep being you. Keep doing you. I'm just being honest. I'm just keeping it 1017. And I'm just letting the folks know what happened today. That's it. That's all I'm doing. But we were talking about the idea of ghosting, or like when you break up with somebody, or when you're not feeling somebody anymore. Like, do you ghost them? Do you tell them face to face? Is it giving text message? Somebody said you can't ghost someone. Either you do or you don't. After age 25, you should be mature enough to tell people whether or not you want to keep seeing them or not. Things always end badly, or else they would not end. Somebody else said ghosting. Oh, it's the same person. Shout out to LT. LT said ghosting someone or breaking up via text is selfish and immature. LT, you're selfish and immature. I'm just kidding. Love you, LT. All right. Also, I know somebody who would never break a heart. He breaks multiple hearts. I'm talking about Tori Lowe up next from Wonderful. Hopefully none of his women are listening. And then Dr. Ken Harris is going to end our day. Shout out to Benjamin on the ones and twos. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Let's go get it. Bye.
She in her mood. She lit, get money too. Like she in her mood. No friends, I don't the fake.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep,